Hello, Dragon Wingers, and new listeners alike. If you're absolutely brand new to Dragon Wings, we really recommend you go back to episode 1 and hear the story from the start. But for the rest of you, it's that time again for a recap of the story thus far. If that ain't your thing, just skip to about 1 minute 50. But if you do want to hear it, then...
Previously on Dragon Wings.
Cassius Mutara, human warlock.
If you're hearing these words, then I've done them plopped in.
Nothing Demarian, tiefling rogue.
I leave to you the seeds of my life's work.
Osgarin Tanan, half-elf bard.
A legendary chicken wing dry rub.
Jacob Marshall, human paladin.
The devil's spice.
Your mutual friend, Ven, was trying to find his fortune with a chicken wing food stand. My name is Sylvia. Sylvia Wingman. Ven was my father.
I hear the Lady Bleth wants you dead.
Sylvia darts to the back of the wagon. She is going to skewer you in the back, Jacob.
Fucking knew it!
Beyond the tree line, there is a table. It's flanked by bodyguards. A woman is seated and she's eating a meal.
Is this, does this woman look familiar?
Doesn't look familiar, though as you emerge from the tree line, she gently lowers her cutlery and she smiles, waiting.
And now, on Dragon Wings.
Dragon Wings!
As you near the lady sat at the table beyond the forest line, her flanking guards take half a step forwards in unison, hands on their longsword hilts. The guards' armour and capes are pure white and streaked with long, kind of almost lightning forks of red metal jutting across them. Their eyes seem very calm behind these slits in their visored helms. The woman, you don't recognise her, has braided auburn hair flecked with yellow and grey, falling very long to her waist. She is absolutely not dressed for travel in the middle of this field. Her deep crimson dress and outer bodice are of the highest courtly fashions. She seems rather well-to-do. And as you appeared, she set her cutlery down beside the plate and she dabbed her mouth with a napkin.
What a weird time to have dinner.
Yes, very, very strange scene. Behind her are around 100 or so of the armoured, weaponed men. Although they're not camped, they're waiting, and behind them, further away, is the town of Elversult.
Do the armoured men look like your normal like gang? Or are they just like seasoned soldiers?
They are uniformed, well organised, and they are flying the banner of the fire knives.
And are these crimson warriors who are flanking her? Are they like big boys? Are they as big as Jacob?
Unusually big boys. Dangerous looking big boys.
Big arrowed, are they?
Do we have to walk towards them? Can't we just be like, I'm actually gonna...
Walk back through the forest?
I'm going back in there.
Let's go round them.
Yeah, why do we have to get to Elversult again?
It's where the ingredient is. In your quest.
I mean...
Have they seen us?
We could go elsewhere and come back to Elversult at a later date.
I'm pretty sure they've seen us, so like we've walked out the forest.
Absolutely.
And we can't really go back into the forest and be like...
Yeah.
We'll be like the Ewoks. We'll just pick them off one by one.
In the forest?
Yeah, in the forest.
Seeing your hesitation, one of the guards, still hand on sword hilt, calls out to you. They're about 100 feet away. You approach her magnificence, her ladyship, and the woman cuts him short and says, Now, Snookums, there's no need for the silly pomp. You miscreants can just call me Jenny Bleth.
No.
And as she says that, she stands up and she waves one of her jeweled hands, and the cutlery, plate, table, and chair shimmer and disappear.
I think she's more magical than me.
Or is she just so rich she can afford magical trinkets? Is this presumably the Lady Bleth?
Presumably
It's gotta be,
the
hasn't
Lady
it?
Bleth.
Yikes.
I guess is Pluckers with us? Is he,
Yes.
as always, alongside? I guess I step forward.
Pluckers is trembling, by the way. Very, very kind of suddenly disturbed.
And I say, you appear to be blocking our way. We just want to get to the city. Is there something that we can do for you?
The woman and the guards take a few steps forwards to start to close the gap, though they don't seem to be making any rush moves. They're still a distance off. And the woman says, "Oh," and she just clucks her tongue. And she kind of appraises you all as if for the first time and says, "Well, aren't you a ragtag band of silly, billy, mushy, bushy troublemakers?"
So this is...
Fucking hell.
Well, there's no
this
need for
is-
language like that.
Nothing is already well over
There is
shit.
nothing ragtag about Baldur's Gate PD. And I just flash her the badge.
She says, "Warlock, I was outside when you blasted my man through the door at that tatty solicitor's office. And Gladiator, the hammer. Oh, the way you wrestled that cockatrice. Oh, sublime. Bard, I clapped the loudest following your performance in the Silver Clasp. Oh yes, I was there. And Tiefling with that magnificent tail. I saw you fall over a few times in the market."
At this point, I put up a fist and then I gradually wind up my middle finger using my tail just to swear at her.
And she says, "It would be a shame to put an end to talents such as yours."
So as I said, is there something that we can do for you?
And she says, "Well, you've more than proved what little worth you contain against Bernadette and the rest of my husband's fire knives, though perhaps we can come to some kind of mutual arrangement, help one another, you know."
And what arrangement would that be, Jenny B?
"How about this?
Jenny B.
I know that you seek the devil spice."
What? I don't know. Sorry, what?
"Oh, come now. Such a concoction simply isn't meant for the likes of you. And don't you dare play the fool."
What are you on about? Don't get... No, sorry.
"My proposal is this. How about I pay you a little bounty-wounty for each new recipe ingredient that you find? Just bring me a sample too, and I will give you 5 gold pieces each."
Lady Jenny B. There's no way that Cassius wants the 5G. She's just using the party just to get her own way, but obviously they're not going to hand over the spices to this bitch.
I think with the Jenny Bleth thing, 5 gold pieces for every single ingredient. I mean, that would be lovely. 5 gold pieces is a lot of money. Nothing is starting to realise that the value of the chicken is probably significantly more than that.
Jacob wants absolutely nothing to do with this woman for loads and loads of good reasons, but mainly because she is demanding quite a lot of them at the point of many, many swords.
Jenny B of Westgate and Fire Knives fame, Osgaren is really uneasy at the prospect of having to do any sort of deal with this woman. He's fled a town with these dastardly crooks at his heels, and now he's forced to come face to face and parley with her from clearly a position of weakness. It doesn't sit well with him.
And just for context, how much gold have you guys got on you at the moment?
1 gold and a couple of... No, 2 gold. 2 gold and a few silver. Assorted.
I've
Small
got
change.
2 gold and 116 silver.
So I think, is that us
Rob.
collectively? Or have you got your own 2
No,
gold?
I've got my own because I was on the rob when I in the market.
Sneaky motherfucker.
Got 9 silver, 20 copper.
Nice.
So
Harry's shaking his head, not sure.
Yeah, not sure. Yeah, no. About that.
Write it down. Shouldn't have to.
Shouldn't have to. Shouldn't have to, mate.
generally thought that you were taking all the notes in this podcast.
Sure. Well, we are recording it.
Cool.
Just listen back.
There's always that.
We'll do.
Can we... Sorry. Can we just have a quick word amongst ourselves? Is that all right?
Oh,
It's
of
a
course, my dear.
very intriguing offer. I just want to make sure we know not
Absolutely.
the wrong decision.
But don't tally.
And
she
if,
says,
if we don't, what's the alternative?
then we'll have something of a problem.
How do you generally deal with problems?
And she twitches her hand, And from a couple of 100 feet behind her, in the middle of the band, you hear this horn, and the entire 100 or so men at the same time, and women, kind of in unison. And you hear them all clamp their weapons down into the field with this unison shunt.
Like the Iceland football fans where they all clap at the same time.
Yes.
Nice.
It's the favouring.
The Viking clap.
I turn to my comrades and say, and a 1, and a 2, and a 1, 2, 3, 4.
And it's very impressive.
Yeah. And she yawns and rolls her eyes.
We're here for weddings, bar mitzvahs, and birthdays.
We're just going to have our chat. See you in a sec. Come over here.
I mean, why? Look, we can. Surely, we say yes. We can have it all. We give her essentially bullshit ingredients that we say are magical. She won't know because she's relying on us to get the devil spice. We get the gold. We mug her off. We get the devil spice. If it comes down to it, we use the devil spice to take out Lady Bleth. Bish bash bosh. I write a song. We're all good.
Cool. Where does my daughter come into this?
What's her name again?
It's been a long time.
Write it down. Shouldn't have to.
Dav admitted before the session that he can remember the name of his character's daughter. Can you look that up?
So all I know is her soul's trapped in a glass bottle. So
it's been a while.
That's the important bit.
Her
Bottle.
memory is fading from me. It's been too long. Oh, I need to find her.
Side quest.
Yeah. It's like negative zone in the Superman movie. She's trapped in like a diamond.
Exactly.
She's
Yes.
in 2D and she's just.
And
flapping
in
around.
like Back to the Future, her photo, I quickly
Yeah, it's
take out her
starting to
picture.
fade.
It's starting to fade.
Science fish.
That, you say photo, you mean hand-drawn?
No, back in Baldur's Gate, we've got a thing called a camera. You fucking peasant.
You
I
actually
think
did
you'll
say
find
hand.
it was a
You did say
hand-drawn picture.
hand-drawn,
No, it was
Again, write it down. Shouldn't have to.
First of all, actually, if you check back, it was a hand-drawn picture of my wife.
Write it down. Shouldn't have to.
Jenny Beth calls over. Well, what say you?
We don't really have. We don't
We don't have a
really
choice here, do we?
5 gold
fight 100
pieces
men.
each, and I grant you passage through my men and women unmolested to Elversult.
How are we going to get the spice back to you that we're definitely going to collect for you?
I'll be waiting.
Where?
Here.
Right here.
Yes.
You're not going to move till we're back.
I'll be nearby.
So you're just going to live in the woods until we...
Well, I trust you won't tarry.
It's important to hash out the finer points.
It is. We do.
I've looked at the list though.
Yeah.
Right, and I'm pretty sure all the animals on the Devil Spice list aren't in this area. So when we get it, like a little ingredient, are we meant to mail it back to you by pigeon?
She adds,
Or-
I haven't had trouble tracking you thus far.
She's not being fooled by our admin chat, is she?
Okay.
Where do we sign?
Can I just say we do it for 6 gold pieces?
Okay, do a persuasion check.
I don't think it's going to go well.
Cheers for your encouragement and belief. Yeah, it didn't. Really didn't. Persuasion, 5.
She says, 4 it is.
You said 5. We'll take 5.
Now it's 4.
5.
Very well, 5. Just a joke. Now, are we in agreement?
Yeah, I mean, I think we need to hash out the details a bit, babe, but otherwise I think we're pretty much there.
Yeah. Why can't you do this yourself? You seem to have a fair amount of resource at your disposal.
She says, Elversult, it's not a place to our liking. And she purses her lips.
So wait, you only want us to get the one ingredient from Elversult?
You can begin there.
Another, just a clause, pluckers, our chicken stays with us. Well, I don't want you going anywhere near him because he's visibly shaken up by you. I don't know what you've done to him in the past.
And she cracks a smile and she nods slowly and she says, very well.
Is there a break clause in our contract? Or
Who are you saying that to?
just how do we get out of this?
Just looking through the contract.
Where's the out?
Is there a break clause in there? Nothing? Just
When does this...
I can't see anything, sorry, no.
When does this end? As Garen says to the Lady Beth.
When we gather all of the ingredients.
And quickly check on the list. How many ingredients are there?
And there are dozens, though it was very clear from Old Ven's notation that not all of the ingredients are there. There's probably some information gathering to do, and possibly some experimentation with the... he didn't have the full recipe. If he did, he would have been able to achieve the full devil spice, and it doesn't look like that's something he ever got to.
What's to stop us getting all the ingredients, ascending to godhood, and pieing you off anyway?
She says, well, we'll cross that bridge before we come to it. And she sneers at you.
I quickly turn to Oscar and say, if we do well in a chicken wing business, we go to the gods.
He knows it. You've seen those fat cats back in Baldur's Gate with those gold rim wheels in their wagons.
Yeah.
Smoking those big cigars.
Those big ones?
Yeah. That's godhood, son.
You kids these days. Yeah, I want that. I want that.
I'm hoping she doesn't want to go to Elversult because it is full of contract lawyers.
Nice.
That's my hope.
I need a legal consult on this.
Yeah.
We have
We've
no
got to fucking
choice,
do it, haven't
surely.
we? Come on. Let's get out
Where
of
do
here.
we sign?
You hear another from overhead, and you see at least one eagle flapping overhead. They very much got the... They've got you pinned.
They got us pinned.
At this point.
Jacob, what say you?
We haven't got a choice, have we? We can't fight all these people. We can't fight any more of our eagles.
Are you sure, Jacob? Come on, you're big, strong Jacob Marshall.
I can't fight 100 men.
That's not what they said in the arena. They were like, Jacob versus 100 men, that's what they wanted.
How many of these
That was mostly
soldiers are
marketing.
dwarves?
You can't see from here.
Okay.
Exactly.
Let's...
Your weakness.
Look, we have no choice but to say yes. So let's say yes, get on with it, and we'll work out how to get out of this. We'll work out how to get out of this later on.
Yeah, sounds good. Let's go.
Yeah, discretion.
Okay, she nods at you, and as you walk by them, you hear the sound of metal on leather as both of the guards, again in unison, begin to draw their swords threateningly as you make your way by. But Lady Bleth seems utterly unperturbed by you and your presence. She seems very cool and calm. And it probably occurs to you who's defending who there.
Fuck.
So, do you want us to sign the papers, or are we just going through to the city? What do you want us to do, Lady B?
You say that to her as you walk past. She says,
I don't think we need something as formal as a contract to Wapty, do you?
I wish you would stop talking like that.
like what, Snookums?
Fuck off. and she wanders off through the crowds.
Okay.
Can't do with any more of that. Feeling like she's mugged me right off.
You have been mugged off, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you make your way past her, and a channel appears through the armed men and women, and you make your way through. You can actually see that the majority of them, vast majority of humans, you do see a couple of other races there. See a couple of gnomes, dwarves, you see some elves.
Any orcs?
You do see some half-orcs.
Bonjour! Salut!
From the back. Yeah, you do see a couple, but the vast majority human, and they look like veterans. They look kind of battle-worn. You don't see any new pieces of armour or weapons. It looks like they know their stuff.
We're talking tired veterans or skilled veterans?
Skilled.
Shit.
Cool.
Veterans like you've been away once and you come back and you're a veteran. Minimum. As you make your way past them, you begin to focus on Elversult before you. And the note in Old Ven's diary next to Elversult, the instruction reads, grind a petal from the son of a Manator.
I'm sorry, what?
A Manator.
Grind a petal from the son of a Manator. And a Manator, you know, is a god.
Yeah.
And we say son, I'm presuming child son, not...
No, S-U-N.
Oh.
And in fact, a Manator, and you all know this very common, well-known god throughout the land, is the keeper of the sun.
Oh, of course.
It's a sun god.
You have to forgive me, I spend most of my life in the sewers. I'm not so au fait with the above-ground world.
Sure.
Does Osgarin... so Osgarin knows a Manator's a god represented by the symbol of the sun.
You all know that, yes.
Yeah, and a petal... Is there like a flower that's associated with a Manator across Faerun?
You aren't sure, but you can roll a religion check.
I will
If you want to see what you know.
just that. 4.
You don't know.
Let's go see if there's.
Yeah.
Let's go see if there's a Temple of Amalnator.
What's the city like? Is it as well to do as Westgate? Or is it?
The town, the city is beautiful, in a word.
So it's a city. It's got a cathedral, right?
It is, and it does. And you know that because the town, the main feature of the town is a central hill that juts out in the middle. And there are buildings sprawling all over it like vines. Though at the very peak is a large, looks like a cathedral, looks like a temple, multi-turreted. It has the usual parts. It looks very cathedral-like. You can see it in the distance. Couldn't think of the right way to describe that.
And do we know whether this cathedral temple such thing is a place of worship for the
Amalnator? You don't know at this distance. It's very much in the distance at this point. But as you approach Elversult, speaking of the sun, it is absolutely beaming. The town itself, the walls are kind of decorative in nature. They're mostly cobblestone sealed with grey mortar, interwoven with this just luscious, creeping vine, blooming with hosts of pinks and sun-bright yellow flowers. Just adorning the city limits. And beyond the walls, you can see several things. You can see thatch and stone shops, these pretty hamlet cottages. You can see some thin plumes of smoke rising near the city gate. And atop it all, looking down on the rest of the town, you can see this gleaming white stone construct, this temple atop the hill.
Got a couple of questions.
Yeah.
1, she's not fucking into this place. Do we have any idea why?
Why?
She says that they're not welcome there.
No, very strange. But her, with the kind of mini host that she has with her, kind of weird that she doesn't just stroll into this town. But actually, that's when you smell the burning meat.
Oh, super. Tell me more.
Well, just inside the city gate, and you can see this as you're nearing it, on either side of the road, just inside the limit, are a dozen or so large, they look like bonfires. Though as you get closer, there are these metal poles tied up through them, and tied to the poles are, or were, the charred remains of people.
Any inkling as to what sort of people they were?
Not from here. No. But you can see, even at this distance, at least one of them isn't lit. And there's a figure, isn't moving, could be dead, is tied atop it. You can see a crowd of these white-robed figures mulling around it. But before you get to that, there is a gatehouse. There's a gate, and you see at least a couple of guards stood there.
I was quite worried about these plants because we had an absolute mare with some twiggy guys, didn't we, a little while ago? Are they gonna hurt us, or do they look nice?
I mean, nature's a powerful thing. Yeah.
Yeah. You can search your mind to see if you know more about these flowers, but I'd say that actually the difference is there are people everywhere here. Cool. Unlikely.
Okay.
We're talking flowers on walls.
And how far away from these guards in the guardhouse?
At this point, around 100 feet or so.
Okay.
Lovely stuff.
Unless nothing. Bad with hay fever?
No, very good actually. Cool. I don't have sort of. It's got quite a flat nose, so it's quite hard for the pollen to get in.
Grew up in a sewer.
Yeah. Didn't grow up in a sewer.
Oh, sorry.
Spent some time in a sewer though.
Sorry.
Spent my adulthood in a sewer.
Okay.
Sorry, that's ridiculous.
Don't be stupid.
Wow.
I grew up with an evil wizard, obviously, and escaped by the light of the moon.
Standard.
Then I moved into the sewer.
Standard.
Like the edgy rebellion phase.
Yeah, I mean, it's all been an edgy rebellion phase, to be honest. Nice. That's how I roll. I'm like the Avril Lavigne of the Faerun.
You're trying to think what that means.
Yeah.
Okay. What does that entail?
Yeah.
Marrying Chad Kroeger.
Yeah.
You just need to find your Nickelback.
Yeah.
Canada Sweethearts.
Yeah.
So you got this gatehouse. And there are a couple of guards, 2 in fact. There's at least one robed figure inside this almost like small shed of a cobblestone construct forming the gatehouse. But outside, facing you, are these 2 guards. They have plate mail emblazoned with the crest of a sun on their chest.
Lit.
All right.
And they are standing attention. And the closer you get, you notice that actually both of them you can't see the others beyond, have this almost like a kind of blackened scar in their foreheads.
Cool.
Ununiform.
Turn to the others and say, I think I've got this, back me. Stride forward and I say, Hail, all praise Manitor. Just a bunch of traders looking to sell our herbs and spices mix. Any chance that we can come into this fine city and do a little bit of wheeling dealing, make a little profit for you at the city, make a little profit for us? What say you? Again, all hail Manitor.
That plus 3 charisma really coming to the fore there.
All hail. Yeah.
Charisma without
Praise be!
One of the guards, it's a man and a woman, steps forwards and says, "Oh, well, praise be to a Manitor. Sun's blessings, travelers, and welcome to Elversult. Can I just say, you guys don't seem much like merchants to me."
Well, actually, again, all hail Manitor. We're starting out. You called us straight away. We've only been in this business for a couple of weeks now. Again, entrepreneurs, you might say. Be gentle with us. And we know that it's a big old tough world out there, but we heard that your city is a great place to start out. And just looking for friendly people.
Yep.
And I come forward because I feel like we might be floundering slightly here and say, are the people of your good city meat eaters by any chance?
And he says, "Oh, well, actually, no. No, that's one of the sins."
Good, because we certainly do not sell chicken wings. See you later.
And with a flourish, Osgarian walks forward and taps fucking both of these people. Fuck, what is your name?
Cassius.
Shit, that's it. Osgarian taps Cassius. Osgarian comes forward and taps Cassius.
Been a more tactful way to do that. Like, you should have reached that hand going for a handshake. Sorry, and you were...
Yeah, Osgarian comes forward with a flourish and taps Cassius on the shoulder and says,
"Yeah,
we've gone through this in rehearsals before. I still think it needs work." And Osgarian turns towards the guards at the gate and says, "We are absolutely merchants. My good friend here is absolutely not in any way duplicitous on that part, but we are merchants of stories and song."
And I'll point out at this point, they're not stopping you from going in. They are just stood nearby. You're there doing this whole song and dance, but they don't seem to be barring your way. In fact, they're just kind of greasing you. And the guy chuckles and said, "Oh, well, you sound exactly like our kind of people. Can I introduce myself, by the way? My name's Brother Guidance. This here is Sister Shine Blessed."
Brother and sister, where could a troupe such as ours set up shop in your fine city?
Oh, well, just beyond, there's a great little place. You guys would love it. It's called the Rising Sun.
Oh,
the Riser? Get down the Riser, lads!
And he grips his sword, and you see this kind of flash of anger across his face, and he says, "I said the Rising Sun."
The Rising Sun, my apologies.
Quite.
You told us about some rules.
Oh, yes.
Obviously, we travel a lot. We go to a lot of different places. Could you just run me by them again?
Oh, of course. Well, in Elversult, things may have changed since the last time you came this way. We expect only those acts which the Sun Lord himself would condone, and I trust you'll all act in virtue. But seriously, you do need to contrite if you accidentally fall to sin. If you do happen to transgress any of the laws of our Lord, the Keeper of the Eternal Sun, you need to utter the words. The words are, "Keeper of the Eternal Sun, condemn my soul unto the darkness for my transgression."
So could you just say that again? I'm just gonna really commit that one to memory.
"Keeper of the Eternal Sun, condemn my soul unto the darkness for my transgression." But really, it's all of the usual kind of thing. No swearing, no drinking, no violence, no adultery, no premarital sex, no eating meat of any kind whilst in the city. But you can keep the weapons. We're a free city after all.
Super.
Osgarian here, bardic side quest, picking up as many accents as he can from across the Sword Coast to be greeted by these oddly smiling, grinning, clearly zealot-like people was kind of strange.
Jacob likes his old-fashioned religion, but he's not a huge fan of intolerant and prescriptive individuals. Even if they are using religion to do what they think is best, if it still involves being unkind to people, Jacob takes that pretty badly.
So hailing from Baldur's Gate, Cassius has seen a lot of sin and is used to that side of a town, being a cop and all that. These people are obviously part of some sort of crazy cult. He is having none of it.
Nothing thinks they're fucking weird. Having kind of grown up on the fringes and probably not ever being massively respected, probably got quite a strong streak of saying, as long as it doesn't hurt anyone else, she's kind of into people doing whatever they want. Going somewhere that's so outwardly restrictive, she quite strongly takes against that. She's not really into that at all.
Sounds charming.
You know what? I love you. What?
Sorry. What's happened, Dav?
I'm just looking at you and just thinking, I genuinely love you.
Are we playing the game right now?
No. Wait, are we? What game? Live?
Can someone smell toast?
But they step to one side, and the woman says, "Enjoy your stay in Elversult. May the sun's truth reach you." And they both
you too
bow their heads.
God, see, I told you I could do this, guys.
I'm going to struggle here.
And you see,
very impressive.
In the gatehouse, you see a little man, human. They're all humans, actually, by the way, so far. Throw you a little wave. He's wearing robes, white, also with the sun emblazoned on the chest. He also has this kind of blackened scar in the centre of the forehead.
Like a burn mark.
Yeah, now that you're close to them, it does look like a burn mark. Kind of puckered skin, raised bump scars. They all look relatively new. You know? Not an old scar, a kind of, not festering, but healing wound.
Any chance I could do like an investigation of like what implement must have done this burn, or
yes, medicine check. Medicine check, yeah.
Medicine. 16.
16. You think it wasn't done with a naked flame. It was done with something hot. A heat source rather than a bit of fire.
So a brand. It's a brand, right? Yeah.
Probably not a brand. It's something hot.
I just go up to one of the guys and say, "Hey, hail brother, what a fine city you have here. Just as traders here, when are we meant to get a brand?" And I point to the sky. When does that happen?
Brother Guidance says, "Oh well, I'm sure you'll find more of our acolytes and religious types inside. Of course, we're all religious types. This is the mark of the blessing of the sun, and we'd be very happy for you to say the words."
If I were to say the words, what would those words be, and what does it convey upon me? What religion would I enter into?
It is forbidden for anyone to utter the words unless they are an acolyte of the Lord, or unless they are taking the vows themselves. Though the mark itself is made by manipulating the light of the sun with a glass.
Like burning ants. What? Nothing. Cool. Good. Right. Cool. Okay. Cool tattoo.
But he claps you on the shoulder and says, "All in good time, brother."
Can I just check in here?
Yes.
Everyone's quite human looking.
So far.
How are they feeling about me?
It's all about you being a fucking tiefling, right?
They haven't reacted oddly at all. If there's one thing they've reacted to, it is the mark on Jacob's face.
Ooh, okay.
No tats allowed.
Does Jacob notice people looking at him askance?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
I would say barely veiled, bordering on animosity.
Jacob then pulls up his hood, pulls it over his head.
What about my dreadlocks? Are they happy with them?
Yeah, they seem happy with them.
How do you feel about bagpipes?
No obvious racism. Can you see? I mean, how, are your bagpipes across your
slung
back?
across the shoulder?
Slung across the shoulder. They haven't reacted to the bagpipes.
Okay, nice. We're indifferent to bagpipes.
Imagine if a really core plot to this session was that they're like bagpipe racists.
They hate bagpipes.
They hate bagpipes.
I must admit, I'm now
notoriously
regarding them with some trepidation because no one normal likes a bagpipe, do they?
Queen does.
Except Scottish people. That's fine though.
No, everyone loves it. I think everyone loves a bagpipe.
I just quite like a bagpipe.
That's their pipes.
It's just more like the tuning bit, like the and then the tune comes out.
They're very rousing, aren't they?
Nobody likes people that can't make
Arousing.
bagpipes.
Rousing.
Rousing, right.
No,
sorry.
I'm going to go with arousing. Arousing. I am aroused.
Who hasn't
Just
had a
a
harder
slowly
one
ascending erection every time you play
My very own bagpipe.
the woman from the sea, or whatever it was called, that you sang in the tavern.
Looking into the city, the smoke which you saw rising behind the gate is absolutely coming from these. They're pyres, really. One of them isn't lit, and now that you're close enough to see, you can see a gnomish boy who's tied to one of the poles.
Must be
a child,
tiny.
absolutely. You don't know if he's alive or if he's dead. He's certainly unconscious at the very least, and he's just wearing this rough, spun brown tunic, barefooted, looks quite dirty. And he's at the top of this fire tied to the pole. Below him are all human men, in this instance, wearing white robes, and they are chanting. One of them is next to the fire holding their magnifying glasses.
What are they chanting?
Yeah, are they chanting in English?
You can't hear from this distance. You can hear this unison chorus.
Is there anything stopping us going nearer?
No, not at all.
I think we need to get in there.
The way has been wide open all this time.
Let's go.
Could have said that 5 minutes ago.
I did.
Jacob gently puts a hand on the shoulder of one of these people chanting and just turns him round and says, brother, greetings.
Mm-hmm.
How has the young man up there transgressed?
Oh, well, they're guilty of heresy, him and his mother and father.
What was the nature of their heresy?
Oh, speaking a prayer to a false god.
Which one?
I'd rather not say the name.
And they're going to burn now.
Oh, well, they'll join the Keeper of the Sun in the next life.
What happened to his parents?
Oh, they're still locked up.
Okay.
Oscarin is pale at this point. Not very happy at all. Kind of stood behind Jacob, just sort of head down.
Where is your prison? I'm from Baldur's Gate PD. I just want to go and see your local chief of police and just talk about inter-city communications.
And the man said,
Oh, well, only High Keeper Bartimus the Scorched may excuse the punishment. And his was the word that condemned them, so I don't think that's very likely.
How many people are surrounding this pyre?
Not a large group, 4 acolytes, and there's a 5th who is crouched by the bonfire, seems to be trying to get it going.
But we're in a public place surrounded by people.
It's the main road into town, flanking either side of it are these bonfires.
And the guys that are trying to start the bonfire, do they just look the same as the guards, or is their burn different, or are they wearing different clothes?
They all have burns in the forehead, but these are all wearing white robes.
Okay.
The guards who had the crest on their armour look like they're sort of more militarised. Of a more militarised ilk.
Okay.
I feel like we get in here and get out of here as quickly as possible. Let's keep going.
I sidle over to Cassius.
As soon as I say that, no one fucking listens.
And I just nothing. It's a child.
Yeah,
that's a boy.
He's just fucking dead already. Anyway, come on.
Smoke begins to issue from the bottom of the bonfire.
I walk over. I sidle over to Cassius and say, "We can just snuff it out. We can. This is parlor tricks to us."
Okay, cool. Okay, I blend into the crowd and start joining the chant. Inwanama, Nengwele Mabala. I assume that's what they're saying, right?
Yeah.
In the spirit, and then just trip and just kick out the fire accidentally.
I was going with, you're a magic user and you prestidigitation. You can snuff out small fires.
It's too late now. He's fucked it up. What's going to happen next? Tell us, Dungeon Master.
And I turn around and say, well, who tripped me up? As I've just taken out this fire.
So just to get this clear, you've blended into this group of 4 people.
Yep.
And you're going to trip forwards and try and stamp out the burgeoning flame. Yeah, that's fine. So I think this is going to be...
at this point...
You're speaking like it's ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous. It's a simple action, so I think the deception is the key element of this. So do your deception roll. It's going to be a tough one.
17.
Good enough. You manage to pat all 4 on the shoulder, that other shoulder at the same time as you walk through the middle of them, and they sort of all look outwards at the same time as you stumble forwards and you stamp out the smoke. The man, the acolyte trying to light it, looks up at you, questioningly.
As he tries to light it again, have they got like small looking glasses or something?
Yeah, they're like 2 glasses that they're holding and trying to sort of get focus between the 2 of them.
So I can dirty. Yeah, I can soil a thing with prestidigitation.
Are we playing the game right now? We've all got this ability.
So I can soil material or an object. I would like to dirty the looking glass as if it's like a patina of soot has covered it, and I would like that patina of soot, so it obviously can't focus the light, to form the shape of a Minotaur's symbol.
Okay.
So it's like a dirty sun, and it's stopping the thing from lighting.
I must
and while
say,
they're focusing on this guy, I'm just like,
this is a better idea than this.
Sorry. I mean, all ideas. Look, there was a little building, and it's like a little distraction here, a little distraction there. You could have just gone in with your fucking big tail and made a big distraction, but you chose to fuck off.
Well, it's fine. Come on. If we're trying to save this kid, let's get on with it.
Ever the pragmatist.
Yeah.
All right.
But Osgarin, you just do it. And as you do that, you see the acolyte who's trying to start the fire. Brothers, look! And he stands up and he rushes over to the other 4 and he shows them and he starts kind of conferring in hushed whispers. And they all nod to one another. A couple of them look up at the gnomish boy, shake their heads, and then they all scuttle off into town. The boy is atop the fire,
still stood
alone.
there.
Stood there. You still don't know if he's alive at this point.
I twist my hands around, cast Mage Hand. A little hand appears. And
like thing,
and just like da-da, and it scuttles up the pole, unties the boy, and just assume the boy just like droops down to his feet.
He does, yeah.
And I catch him,
and bring him down,
and I get some soot and just rub it over his forehead and say,
Why don't you put it? Why don't you turn that soot into the shape of a Minotaur, and then we can leave him here, and then we're not directly connected to it either.
Yeah, nice. I sculpt that soot from a line over his forehead into the shape of the Minotaur's symbol. Place him down on the floor, and then let's skedaddle, I guess.
Let's get out of here. Yeah,
let's move.
Finally!
Nice. So are you leaving him on the ground by the bonfire?
If we take him, they're going to start asking questions, aren't they?
Yeah.
Surely.
Finally, someone speaking sense. Let's go.
Cool. So
I'm with you all the way.
Can I just do a little pulse check? Is he alive? Is he?
You can see him breathing.
Okay.
That's what you know.
Is he awake?
He's not awake.
Okay. Jacob splashes a little water in his face from his canteen just to wake him up.
Nice.
Washes off the mark.
Washes off the mark, yeah.
Just on his... Try not to wash off the mug.
Okay, just on the chest?
Yeah, just his little... Just on his neck.
On the arm, okay.
Yeah, on his yeah.
He isn't roused.
Does he have a pulse?
He does, he's alive.
Get your bagpipes out and arouse him. Sorry. That was shit.
Come on, look, we've saved him. He's fine. They're going to come back, talk about the sign appearing. It's going to be good. Let's go.
So, is that what's happening? You're leaving him behind?
Yeah.
There we go. The man of God says, let's leave him. You're a satanic eye man with a daughter and a crystal. I'm not even listening to you. He says, let's go. Come on, let's go.
Your words are persuasion. Yeah, all right, yeah. My daughter is in a crystal. Let's go.
Okay, as you make your way up the streets, what you see is that every third or fourth house lining the street is boarded up. Rather conspicuously vacant.
Is it as conspicuously as Tom is putting the beer back in the fridge?
Yes.
More or
Tom
less
is
so.
stealthy in real life. Some of those houses have been destroyed completely, and judging by the blackened stones, burned to the ground. As you pass them, you can see that some of the bits of rubble have jutting out of them rather obvious charred bones.
These traces of whatever it is, some sort of destruction, they look fresh. This is recent.
You can do an investigation roll if you want to try and find out. Check a few of them.
That is -1. That's 7.
I mean, they're not ruins. They're not kind of ancient ruins. Okay. It's happened in recent history for sure.
Right.
You can also see several shops, stalls lining the streets. Most of them, almost all of them, seem to be selling sun paraphernalia or iconography, and you can see at least one sign that reads suntan potion. Other things like that. It's all rather sun-oriented around here. You've rarely seen such a directed linear... Faerun is generally a pretty accepting place. This certainly isn't a hub of a very particular wing view. And here is this very, very directed singular town. Very unusual.
Are we en route to the big cathedral, the castle on the hill kind of thing?
You are heading in that direction. The hill is up ahead. But more immediately, you actually spot the tavern that the guard mentioned, the Rising Sun.
Okay.
I'd say the main thing about it is that there are a set of stocks outside, and a half-orc has been set in them. He is wearing a kind of apparatus. His eyes are being held open with spindles jutting from a piece of metal headgear, which itself is held to him with leather straps. He's otherwise completely restrained, and his head has been turned up to face the sky. He has been staring wide-eyed into the sun for who knows how long. And his eye sockets are streaming with these old, stained red, almost like streaks of tears, though crusted and dried on his cheeks. And his tongue is just lolling from his mouth, senseless.
Even Nothings finds that a bit of a difficult watch.
About his neck is a wooden sign that reads drunkard.
Dragonwing.
Thank you for listening, and Happy New Year. A reminder that you can and should speak to us on the social medias at DragonWingsPod on Twitter. Same again for Instagram, but with some underscores in there. We bloody love talking to you, so follow us, send us your content. Please also let your friends know about us. Hannah is on an absolute mission to get a listen in every country across the world, so forward us on. And if you like what you hear, what better way to express it than through a 5-star review on your podcast platform of choice? Anyway, thank you again, and we will catch you next time.